Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this. If you take some of the trimmings from Tom Selleck's mustache, mix that up in a cup of chocolate milk, you are rock hard for days.
They do right instead
That is true.
instead of like tiger roots or whatever they various virility.
No, you just a little bit of Tom
Selleck's
Selleck's mustache trimmings in chocolate milk, cow milk, not organic shit, oat milk.
Oh,
no,
really?
It has to be cow milk. Tom Selleck's mustache trimming. Mix it up, drink it.
All right,
rock hard for days.
On the next episode, we're gonna watch.
You'll come a
Mo.
mile. Is your man not giving enough attention?
You're
If anybody's watching on YouTube, I'm stroking Ashley's arm right now.
And I'm stroking Mo's
But
arm.
I was stroking Ashley's arm first, so I get credit for the arm stroking. This podcast is for general informational purposes and entertainment only and should not be considered medical advice. Dr. Ashley is not responsible or liable for any advice, course of treatment, or other information you obtain through this podcast, and neither am I. So if you have any real problems, go see a doctor in person.
This is The Full Release with Mo Mandel.
And Dr. Ashley.
I had a little exploration last night while you were sleeping.
Uh-oh.
It didn't involve my penis.
Yeah, usually it involves I wake up and I see what of the junk food has been ravaged.
Oh, and I ate some shit. Yeah, you haven't,
Yeah.
you haven't
What did
noticed
you
it.
eat
I
last
ate something
night?
you're going to be pissed that I ate.
What?
I'm not. You're going to discover it on your own.
What?
But you're going to be pissed when I eat it.
What? The truffles?
I'm not going to tell you.
The cookies?
Wait, do we have truffles?
Yeah.
You've been hiding fucking truffles from me?
No, they're right by the TV.
Oh, God damn it.
What? Cookies?
Well, I'm not going to go into it, but isn't that a fun thing? Married couples, people live together, like just eating the shit that you know your partner really is going to want to eat. It just it almost makes it taste better a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever I ate
No,
last
that's
night
as a
felt
kid,
really good.
when you were only supposed to have 2 cookies after dinner after you had your vegetables and stuff, but then
As soon as
you,
your parents go to bed,
yeah.
another cookie's getting eaten.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta fucking
exactly.
believe that.
And that cookie tasted so
Oh,
good,
God, it was
and
such
you
a
were
good cookie.
and the first time you did that, maybe when the first time you were old enough to realize,
Yeah.
you could do something even though
Right.
your parents said you couldn't. You still had the physical capability of getting
No,
that
you
cookie.
did. You're
It was
and you were
oh
like,
my God,
you were like, they never
what?
even thought about this.
Yeah.
They never even thought I would take one of these cookies.
I know.
And then what you realize is they just don't buy them. They're going to buy them the same amount of time. It's not like as soon as they're out of cookies, they're going to buy cookies.
I don't know. I mean, I was one of 4 kids, so I don't think they paid attention to the rate of cookie eating.
Oh, at my house they did. If as soon as the cookies were done, it's like, all right, well, there's no cookies until we go back to the store.
Oh. Yeah, but that's
You're
probably
like,
because you guys lived an hour away from a grocery store.
Yeah, we didn't live in a very cookie-friendly community. But what I was going to tell you, babe, and we are going to dive into the sex medicine stuff. We have some.
Yeah.
We got actually a really great little segment on online dating, courtesy of one of our fans that sent us their Twitter profile to go over, which I'm excited about.
And we're going to be talking about non-monogamous relationships.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Is there something you're trying to tell me?
Well, I can, your love for the jelly beans.
I didn't eat the jelly beans. That's not what it was. You think that's what it was. It wasn't.
What was it?
You're gonna be
The
fucking
cake, the
pissed.
wedding cake.
No, you're gonna be pissed. I can't even. go into it.
Seriously,
Just
this is
move
killing
on.
me.
Move
No,
on.
come on.
No.
Our listeners want to know.
Well, they're gonna find out next episode after you've left me. Well, I was gonna say this though. Last night I went on an exploration. I've been feeling. You were saying, usually, it's so good to be active and engaged with society. Well, I am not generally like that. And I feel very dumb lately, I think I've been talking about that. I've been feeling like I'm really dumb. So last night I was like, I'm going to start making it part of my routine to just Google something I don't know what it is that I've been hearing people say
Yeah.
and just read up on it.
Okay.
So I did a deep dive on G.I. Joe. No, I'm just kidding. No, I did a deep dive on, I looked up what redlining is.
Oh,
I've been hearing people say redlining,
Yeah.
all the time. And I looked
Yeah.
up that. Not good.
No, it's terrible.
It's really not a good thing.
Yeah.
And then from there I read about the Tulsa massacre, which was interesting.
Terrible.
Terrible again, but I had always heard about it recently, but I didn't really know what had happened. That was interesting. And so I learned about that. And then I read about I love reading about despots,
Yes.
bad men from history.
Right.
So I read up on 12 Russian kings and queens.
Give us your favorite tidbits.
Well, one thing that was interesting is they were as much as I fucking feel like Russians, are sometimes, it's kind of they can be feisty. And big ups to one of our Russian fans who wrote us on YouTube. That was very nice to say hello.
And we're not saying all Russians. We're saying like
I just
Russian
think Russians
despots.
are kind of feisty. You know what I mean? Like there's there's a feistiness to Russians.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
But one thing that was kind of cool is they had powerful queens throughout history.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
seemingly before other countries did. Russia was like bigging up to them Russian gals, and they were crushing it.
Good.
So
Good. I'm all about that.
yeah, I will say it seemed like the Russian women did a better job for the people than the men did.
I mean, I'm not surprised. It's like
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because women are better, because Russian women are better.
no, I like they were saying, for example, in the early phases of COVID, that countries that had female leaders, a lot of them were doing a better job at responding to the crisis.
Because you
and-
guys are so used to responding to crises of like having babies and
right. That's
periods and stuff
yes,
that you were
that's
just like
right.
ready to jump all over
Exactly.
it. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That would be why.
Well, should we just dive into our primary purpose here? Because I think we've been on like
Oh no, I want to bring
a
up
lot
one-
of stuff.
Yeah, but I wanted to bring up one other thing. You were going through something this week that I thought was interesting to share with our listeners. Because one thing I've been doing as well as my deep dives into Russian politics is I've been trying to listen to more podcasts to kind of figure out how we can be better. I think we're
Mhm.
very good. I like our podcasts, but trying to figure out like what do other podcasts offer. And I feel like they definitely reveal things about themselves. And so I thought I would reveal something about you. Because I don't want to talk about my feelings.
Well, we already talked about how you drown your feelings in candy late at night.
Yeah,
so-
you're right. And whatever
so
I
we
ate
didn't
last
really
night, it's
talk
going to make you
about-
mad.
Oh my god. Okay, fine. So
So I was going to say, one thing we've been sort of dealing with this week is you've been feeling a little down, and you were saying that you feel down because the excitement of the wedding is done.
yes.
And I'm sort of like, yeah, but we had this great wedding, and you almost are going through like a little bit of a postpartum wedding depression.
Yes, I do feel like, and obviously I'm not postpartum, meaning I did not just give birth, but I know what you're saying. You're saying that there's kind of this crescendo event, like childbirth, and then, a phase of sadness afterwards, right? Like that's what I was experiencing.
It's like, probably when you have a baby coming, everyone's writing you constantly, the baby's coming, the baby's coming, the baby's coming. And then then the babies come, and then you're like, oh, now I just got to take care of this baby.
Yeah, I mean, with the postpartum thing, that's so complex, and there's a lot of physical changes associated with that. I mean, right, before and after your wedding, you don't have like you're not having a human pop out of you, and you're
I feel
not,
like I've been dealing with some hormonal changes.
and you're not having massive hormonal shifts.
Right.
So there's definitely like a real physiologic reason for women to get postpartum depression. But that said, in this situation, it's like, yes, you should just be thrilled that you're moving ahead in your marriage, right? And it's not like you just get a wedding. It's like it's the beginning of something. But, in my mind, I think part of it was it's just this overarching project that you have that you pour yourself into for so much time. And also it's just the stuff of fantasy, right? It's like, when in your life are you building to this moment where you're like, this is going to be everything I dreamed of? Like when you're thinking of, going furniture shopping the weekend after next, you're not like, this is going to be just like such an authentic experience for me.
This couch is going to change everything.
Right.
The cushions.
Right.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Cushions, yes.
Yeah.
No, but there's so few times in your life where you just say, this specific moment in time is going to be the manifestation of why we live. You know what I mean? And a wedding day is like supposed to be that day.
It's
Sorry.
like if you spend that much attention to you and focus all that attention on you and want everyone to focus on you on any other day but your wedding, you're like such an asshole.
Right.
But it's like you're expected to do that,
Right. So I think
So are you not getting enough attention at home?
No, I mean,
Is your man not giving enough
oh,
attention?
you're
If anybody's watching on YouTube, I'm stroking Ashley's arm right now.
and I'm stroking Mo's
But
arm.
I was stroking Ashley's arm first, so I get credit for the arm stroking. Thank you for everybody who's subscribing on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Woohoo. But yeah, so anyway,
I'm stroking her arm again, by the way. If anyone's on YouTube, if they're seeing that again, there's an arm stroke. Okay, go on, please.
Do you want to do some like back patting or maybe some?
No.
Do you want to do some head
I
patting?
don't want to get too lascivious. This is not OnlyFans.
lascivious.
Yeah. Is there anything I can do to cheer you up? Because sometimes I get a little bummed that I'm like, wait, she was all excited to marry me, and now she's just sitting next to a guy eating rice pudding while watching Netflix, and she's like, oh, this is what the whole you climbed up to the mountaintop and you look at the view and you're like, it's just a Walmart.
No, every day I see you, every morning I wake up to you, I like feel so lucky. I really do. I mean, I feel overwhelmed with joy that I have found you, because I think, one of the most difficult things in the world is to feel like you've met a partner who is so true to what you were looking for and such a good companion and so understanding, as you are, that I am overwhelmed with joy over that aspect of things. I think there's just, for me, I just had this sadness, and it was not something that's rational, right? It's just like a void of something that you spend so much time thinking of being behind you.
You know what I kind of think I kind of equated to is like when you were a kid, you didn't have any money. So you'd get like a new toy whenever it was your birthday or Hanukkah, right? And I would always have I was always the kid who I knew exactly what kind of toy I wanted. You know what I mean? Like my brother would always be like, oh, I don't know, bro, what, we'll just go to the store. And I was like, no, I want the fucking Nerf Double Blaster, the Lego, and I'd be so excited about it. I want it. And then I'd get it. And it was cool, but then there was always like a moment of like, there's nothing left
anticipation.
To want. Yeah, now what do? I just play with it?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Part of what you wanted was the anticipation.
Right.
And then and then
it's because then you realize like, oh, now I'm just like back to just doing my life. Like now I just gotta and now things are normal. There isn't like that thing that you think, because we always think about things like whether it's relationships or events, we think this is gonna change everything.
Right. I think also, and I was saying this to you, and maybe we even said this on the podcast before, it's also like the last major thing that you do that's about you, that's not a commemoration of something you've already done. And so what I mean is, fine, what are the other major things that people celebrate, in their adulthood?
Right.
Their anniversaries, which is just a commemoration of something you already did, which was your wedding, right? Or there's like retirement.
It's gotta be, your anniversary is only impressive when you're hitting like 30 and up.
I know.
Anything beyond that, you're like, oh, really? You're throwing a 9th anniversary party? Like, right. Suck a dick. You know what I mean? This thing could still crash and burn.
And even so, it's still a commemoration of something that passed, right?
Yeah.
And then, if you're retiring or moving, away, whatever, it's like, oh, this is because of things you've already done. I mean, I guess you could have like a party for having a promotion,
but it's kind of like, it's kind of rude. If you get a promotion, to throw yourself a party is kind of rude.
Right.
And like I think you're right. Then you have kids and people are congratulating you, but
then it's about your kids.
The kid.
Right.
I mean, I plan on winning like an Academy Award and then going to the moon and doing all kinds of great stuff in my life. That's just my life.
That's
so
good.
I plan I'm going to get a lot more celebrations, but I feel like for you, I understand it. You, I totally get it. For you, but I plan on sailing a great ship, a great vessel, and discovering new lands.
Don't do that.
So I'm gonna probably get lots of parties from the King of Spain when I return from my Christopher Columbus days.
Yeah,
that are ahead of me.
Get it.
This is what I do sometimes. I just lie around and fantasize if I had a more interesting, exciting life.
Yeah.
All right, babe. Should we dive into the show or what?
Yeah, why don't you tell people how to contact us? So this is a we answer questions. We talk about sexual health and relationships, and tell our listeners how to contact us. We love your questions, and we're gonna hit up a few of them today.
Yeah, you can contact us at thefullreleasepod@gmail.com. That is thefullreleasepod@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. And you can call us.
You can?
Yeah.
So how does it work? Do you talk to us live?
No, you call us and leave us a voicemail.
Voicemail.
Yeah. Although I think in the future we'll do some live stuff, maybe
absolutely
like Facebook Live or Instagram Live or whatever.
MySpace live chat.
Right. Yes.
Friendster.
We'll go to an AOL chat room.
Yeah. We should start an AOL chat room.
Can you even do that?
I don't know. Podcasts are not exploring the AOL chat room of it all.
I don't even know if those exist anymore. Anyway, if you can call us and leave us a voicemail with a question or a comment or a fake question that we'll give you a real answer to at 213-631-3460. That's 213-631-3460. Good job. All right.
Oh yeah. Also, we were just guests on. It hasn't come out yet, but this week we did an interview for the Casual Swinger podcast. It was super fun.
Really cool.
With Mickey and Mallory. Talked to some real life swingers. They're interviewing us. That's going to be on their podcast soon. All right,
Really
babe.
cool.
Take it away.
Take it away. You want me to dive in?
Well, yeah. Why don't you
Okay.
dive into
Okay,
something
cool.
you've been tinkering around? I know you had a sexual medicine thing tickling around in your vagina that you wanted to birth into the podcast, right?
Okay.
Is that an appropriate way to say it?
Sure. Yeah. So, actually, we were on that podcast, Casual Swinger, and we were there mostly talking about our podcast and talking about vasectomies and
They had a lot of questions about vasectomies.
circumcisions. A lot of good talk about vasectomies. But that, and we're not swingers, but they are swingers.
Not yet. But we're coming
No,
to
we're not.
join. If anyone wants to love us. If
Okay.
anyone wants to love our swinging bodies.
Let's just be fair. Mo definitely is not an advocate for that, even though he's pretending
If anyone
he
wants
is.
to be in love with us as swingers. What does that mean? You think you're more likely to be a swinger than me?
I just think you're a little more uptight, than I am.
Just talk to my chest because my shirt just got unbuttoned here on YouTube.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, like,
Talk to this chest hair and say that's uptight.
you show off your chest all the time. I mean, like, men show off their chest sometimes.
I can't believe you think I'm less likely
What does
to
that
be a
mean? Like, you're just
swinger.
like, because I looked at your virile chest,
Yeah.
that you're just like,
Yeah.
you have sex with, you're
Many
ready
people, yeah.
to have sex with many people because of your virile chest. It's
So
just
you
like,
think if we went into a swinging party, I just want to play this fantasy out. We go in there and you're just fucking just, and I'm just like, and I'm just in the corner like, I feel
No.
uncomfortable. And you're just like, your mouth is just like full and you're like, oh, get over here.
I mean, I don't think like you and I have any desire to do
Right,
swinging, but I think that in theory, I would be more likely to be okay with it than you would.
Wow, this is big news.
It's not.
I do feel like you're saying something big here. I feel like you're saying, well, you're saying one of two things. One, I think you're saying is I am more attracted to you than you are to me.
No, I don't
In
think
which
so.
case you think.
I don't think that's the case. I'm extremely attracted to you.
But see, that would imply that like I'm less likely to want to go outside the marriage because I don't know where you're getting the idea that I am more sexually uptight than you. You're just saying that in your experience having sex with me, I'm more sexually uptight than you.
I don't know. I just think I would be more open to it than you.
Wow.
And look, we've both talked about it. I mean, I think both of us don't feel any need for that. And I also think that both of us, what we've said in our debriefing in like, a very theoretical way, if we were ever to entertain that, is that both of us are aware that our negative emotions would probably be too strong. Like that we would feel all jealous and
Well,
like,
now I want to go do it because you don't think I have it in me.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Now I'm going to go be a swinger. I'll tell you how it went. And I'll be like, this is your fault.
Okay.
All right, continue.
All right. So anyway, so I was looking in my the Journal of Sexual Medicine, which I love to read, which is a peer-reviewed journal about sexual health, and they had from one of the recent I'm like losing
Articles?
my
One of the most
one of the
recent
recent volumes that came out. They had an interesting
periodicals.
Yeah, so I was gonna pull it up and talk about it a little bit because I thought that discussing sexual satisfaction in monogamous versus non-monogamous relationships is an interesting topic. That we
I think
don't
you should go into it.
address
I'm
a
going to
lot,
go on
so-
Craigslist and look for a swinging partner
Cool.
and log on to joinourswingingcommunity.com to prove myself to you. But you go on and you discuss that.
Okay. So anyway, the title of the article was Sexual Motivation and Satisfaction Amongst Consensually Non-Monogamous and Monogamous Individuals. Okay. So basically, meaning monogamous individuals, like, people in a romantic relationship who are not having sex with others. And then consensually non-monogamous relationships, meaning that it's not that you or I are going out and cheating, right? It's that we've had a discussion.
They have an arrangement. Yeah.
Yeah, a discussion. And so there are various forms of consensual non-monogamy, right? So and under this umbrella of consensual non-monogamy, there can be swinging, right? So swinging being and this is a good what's a technical relationship of swinging is where both partners engage in extra-dyadic relationships that are typically sexual only in nature, whereas an open relationship describes configurations wherein individuals engage in extra-dyadic sex without their partner and usually without romantic
Right.
Emotional
That's where you go
attachments.
outside the relationship. You have your fuck people, I have my fuck people. Swinging is sort of like, and they were talking about it on the podcast a little bit, it's like you date a different couple. Like
right.
there's a couple that comes over and then at some point you all start fucking each other or in some sort of capacity. I think that's what swinging is. But then like you're not supposed to
right.
go bowling with them, really, I don't think.
Right. And
Maybe I'm
then the polyamorous relationships entail engagement in extradyadic emotional and or sexual romantic relationships with or without a dyadic partner. Meaning
I love the way
that
you say dyadic, by the way. When you talk about dyadic, I am like rock hard right now.
well, a dyad, I mean you get what that means. Like a dyad would be like you and me, right? So an extra dyadic partner would be like
I literally have never heard of that word before. Dyad?
yeah.
Never heard of that.
Dyad,
I was too busy reading
triad.
about Russian kings last night. I didn't get to dyads.
Yeah, but you get what it means.
Sure,
Like,
I get what it means. So you're
Okay.
saying, but what are you saying? You're saying,
right. So, and I mean, I think everybody knows this, but it's kind of interesting to talk about the different definitions of all of it, right? So, polyamorous is saying there's a person over here, and you and I may interact with them together or individually, and usually there's both a sexual and a romantic component in our interaction with them,
Right.
So then the swinging typically is you and I as a dyad
Yeah,
are
we're-
interacting with a second dyad.
this is like you take one, you take both. It's only
And-
you got to buy two, kind of thing.
Yeah. And then typically less often romantic and usually predominantly sexual, but not always the case. And then the open relationship is us, the dyad, going off.
Yeah, I'm not down with that. I'm not
interacting.
down with that one at all. And I'm also not down with
So-
polyamory because I don't have that's too much emotion to give.
Well, you're not into it for yourself, right? You're not
oh no,
judgmental
yeah, obviously, yeah, for
towards
myself.
it. Yeah. Anyway, so they were just saying, what are for people who are like in a monogamous relationship as compared to people who are in a non-monogamous relationship, what are their satisfaction levels with sex and what are their motivations for having sex,
That's
right?
interesting. Yeah,
It is interesting because in my mind, my thinking would be people who are in consensually non-monogamous relationships, would probably be more satisfied.
See, I was going there
But-
too because they haven't started not doing it. But maybe they're just not satisfied, but they're also like cowardly and don't want to shift up their life,
Right. But it's interesting because this was like we did this study to come against the traditional assumption that people in consensually non-monogamous relationships are less sexually satisfied, which is interesting to me. I would never think that people who are having more sex partners would be less satisfied.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think they would be.
You think they would be?
Yeah. It's sort of like, you know what it is? Because it's sort of like if somebody is drinking a lot and they're super happy all the time, I would guess they're less happy than the person who doesn't drink at all. Because that person's just sort of satisfied.
But it also could just be an inherently different type of. I think in this case, the people who are engaging in non-monogamy could just be inherently different, like
Right.
more interested in that alternative sexual lifestyle.
Well, where'd they find? What was the discussion? That people who are Furbies are the happiest?
But I will say, as an aside, in my dating past, I've never been in a consensually non-monogamous relationship. But the times in my life where I was in a relationship, but was very more focused on being attracted to other men, was when I was unhappy with my sexual relationship.
Yeah. And I've been in a relationship where I cheated and I definitely was less satisfied. And I don't condone it, but it was, I definitely took the cowardly polyamorous route.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. And part of the theory behind this whole study was something called strategic pluralism. And if I'm getting too like jargony or something, let me know.
I think you're on the cusp. What do you guys think? I think she's on the cusp. Didactosaurus was on the cusp, but pluralism, what does that mean?
So strategic pluralism is basically this evolutionary theory which says that people pursue different types of relationships, i.e. like short-term versus long-term relationships, depending on specific individual needs. Basically, you're more likely to reach all your needs if you are engaging in multiple relationships.
If you get a lot
right?
of, it's like if you have a lot of different people there to satisfy all the different needs.
Right. And it's interesting. So they said there was a prior study where they looked at people in consensual non-monogamous relationships, and most people thought that their primary partner, was a better long-term partner than they themselves were. but that their secondary partner was a less good long-term partner than they were. But
So that's interesting. Yeah. So that makes sense. You have less respect for the person who you are cheating, because there's two things that I hear there. One, people often, if you are making your partner like you're putting her on a pedestal or him on a pedestal, it makes you less attractive to them in a certain, it's like the Madonna whore complex. But then you want to have sex with this other one, but you don't really consider them actually as good of a person, as good of you know what I mean? That's exactly what that is.
yeah, but I also think a Madonna whore complex is where you actually begin feeling asexual towards somebody because you put them on a pedestal.
Well, how do you know? That could be what this is. If they're saying you put your partner on a pedestal, but now you're obviously not that attracted to them, so you're fucking somebody else.
I mean, I think this potentially is that concept, but on a more healthy spectrum, right? I mean, I think the pathology of the Madonna whore complex is that this idea that it's kind of like a binary phenomenon, right? Like you can't feel this kind of like warm, safe
right.
pedestal feeling towards somebody and also have any sexualization towards them, right? And, the idea is that potentially it's normal to put people somewhere on that spectrum, right? And like they were saying actually in other primary studies that, yeah, people in consensual non-monogamy felt that they had more satisfaction with communication and commitment with their primary partner, but more time in sexual activity with their secondary partner.
Fuck that, man. I'll tell you, I would not want to be the primary partner in that relationship where I'm there for all the communication, but none of the sex.
Well, I mean,
that sounds awful.
But then maybe you also had the same thing,
yeah,
right?
I guess, but then it's like, why do it then? I don't know. It just seems like there's just like a lot of stuff that for not a lot of, you know what I mean?
Well, I think that also, again, has to do with people's innate character traits, right? Like somebody might really love having a primary partner who,
oh, wait, you really think like people are just genetically predisposed to this? I don't know if I agree with that. I think life's all about like sacrifices and decisions. And if you have been able to crack it, where you have the same feeling of stability and connectedness and somebody looking out for you while you can also be sleeping with somebody else, and the jealousy of her or him sleeping with somebody else doesn't drive you crazy, you can crack that very complex code, then sure, who the hell wouldn't want to do it? Everybody would want to do it. But I don't think it's like you're genetically predisposed to be like, I am not a solo monogamous person.
I tend to think that it's just that people are really fucking complicated and monogamy is not perfect.
Right.
And it is an innate human characteristic to be interested in more than one person.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
And so the question is, how do you channel that, right? And is it something that you channel that through, fine, I just watch somebody walk down the street and I watch an occasional porn and it's like, and I role play with my monogamous partner and that's fine, right? And I feel healthy and that drive is subdued or whatever. Or is it to you to say, no, my drive for that innate tendency is best manifested through, a consensual non-monogamous relationship? Or is it that I don't want to be in a long-term committed relationship at all and I want to have like serial dating partners because, based on my communication strategy, that's what I need to do and I will never lose the desire to explore new people, right? Because I mean, you hear of the chronic bachelor, right? Sort of person who just needs to be that.
I think you said it perfectly in the beginning where you said like, look, human beings are complicated and monogamy is not perfect. And the truth is, of course it's not, because human beings are complicated and yet monogamy is so simple. It's like, you just fuck this person and eat with this person and sleep with this person and talk with this person and walk with this person and go on Netflix journeys with this person and that's it. And you're like, oh, but what are this? Like, no, all of them. Monogamy. Like monogamy, if monogamy is at a party, monogamy like the person and everyone's like, Jesus, dude. Like he's the guy's like, no, you can't double dip.
Right. And
don't leave the freezer open. Monogamy. I'm not fun to be around.
Right. No, and even, like going through our process of getting married, right? Like the cultural celebration of a dyad, right, is just so lauded and put on a pedestal and deeply ingrained in us, right?
Yeah.
And nobody would be like, let's get together and celebrate the love of
Diane
these three.
fucked 8 guys this month. Let's party.
Right. And yet we all know that a streak inside of us, depending on how strong or not strong it
Yeah.
is, exists. And to pretend that somebody woke up in the morning and was just like, or at the beginning of their sexual awakening in their teenage years was just like, I want to find the love of my life and have sex with that person and then die, like is just
jerk off to that exact same thought when I was 14.
Right.
Like, I want to find somebody and then I just want to get like physically fall apart near them as we get older and then just jerk off and die.
But I mean, so it's kind of tragic that we know who we are, but on the other hand, we're so embedded this idea that it's anti-romantic to be the beings that we are, right?
No, I don't think it's anti-romantic. I wouldn't say that. It's like swinging and all that it's not the anti-romance. It's just like, I just think it's too risky for your relationship.
Well, no,
I just think it's so hard to imagine not being fucking. Like I was telling you the other day, like if we swung with another couple and I felt like the other guy was being rough with you at all, or at all disrespectful, like it would
and we
just
were
drive
talking
me
about this like
crazy.
hypothetically.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, that would make me so angry. Or if you were better looking than the person he brought, his wife, I just feel like, man, it's not really fair. You know what I mean? It's like if I brought, you know what I mean?
No, I mean this is what I was saying to you because I was listening to some economics podcast about getting people to wear masks, right? And how they find that negative motivators are stronger than positive motivators, meaning that, if people are going to get, let's say, a tax rebate for always wearing a mask, they're less likely to wear a mask than if they're going to get a fine for not wearing a mask, right? And this is like a well demonstrated principle in human behavior, right? On like a societal level. So it's like, from my standpoint, I understand the innate curiosity or intrigue or newness, like if you and I went swinging, but I also understand that if I looked over at you
the cost
and you were having
benefit
sex with
doesn't
somebody
work
else,
out on that, yeah.
I just know myself and my personal
You'd shank
jealousy
a bitch.
levels.
You would shank a bitch. Let's be honest.
And I feel like my personal negativity level coming out of that experience would be worse than my positivity experience.
Okay, let's do a role play right now. Let's do a role play. I want to see how you react if me and you go swinging. I want to know how you would react in that situation. So here's a role play.
I don't like when we do role plays.
Here's a role play.
I'm
So
not a
I'm
method
having
actor
sex.
or whatever.
I'm having sex with 2 beautiful women. There's one here and there's one here, and I'm just sort of like having sex like this, and then you walk up
like this.
Yeah,
You're
like I'm
this.
like bringing one here and then one here. So I'm having sex like bam.
It just looks like
bam.
right now what you're doing. It looks like you're
Bam.
just having like a lot of cuddles with them.
No, yeah. So I'm cuddle fucking. This is how you cuddle fuck. So
Okay.
I'm cuddle fucking. Here we go. And then you walk in, and I'm just like, oh yeah, sex is happening here now. I'm having sex here now
Okay.
with these women.
Okay.
And we're cuddling
Okay,
and
we're-
fucking.
What is going on with this scenario?
Yo, what? Well, hey, babe, I'm swinging and cuddle fucking. How you doing? And then you would say what? And now look at me. Now I'm really doing this move.
I don't know. This is
See, so I don't know. Maybe you aren't the swinger you thought you were, because you
Right.
didn't handle that well.
Right.
You froze up.
no. I definitely would not be good at doing improv theater of
Yeah.
pretending that you are a swinger.
Right. I think we've all learned
Also,
a lot.
you wouldn't be good at doing improv theater of pretending you're a
How
swinger.
dare you?
So-
Hey, all right. Tell us who's the sexiest, happiest, because I want to move on to this Tinder thing. I'm excited to get into.
Sure. So anyway,
Who's having the best sex? Who's the happiest?
oh, interesting. This was another I thought very interesting. So, what percentage of the U.S. population would you think have been in a consensually non-monogamous relationship at some point? Meaning, not like I was in a monogamous relationship and somebody cheated on me, but like we had an
organized monogamy.
agreement
Yeah.
to either be polyamorous, swinging, or in an open relationship.
Premeditated non-monogamy is what you're saying.
Yes, pre-nut.
What percentage?
Yeah.
15%.
Oh, they say actively 4 to 5%, and at some point in their adult history, 20%. So you're pretty close. 1 in 5.
If I had been right, I would have thought that was like wildly high, because I don't know anyone who's ever talked to me about that. One time my cousin was asked to have sex with a woman that her husband knew he would have sex with her because he had cheated on her, and the solution to the marriage was she got to cheat on him with somebody.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good
Yeah, he's
idea.
like, don't get involved. You're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get
not
murdered
good.
or some shit.
Okay. Anyway, so they had them fill out these 2 questionnaires, and maybe Next week, I'm gonna make you answer some of these questionnaires.
And the questionnaire is about what?
So one of the questionnaires is called the Why Sex questionnaire. It's called the Why Humans Have Sex scale.
And this is something they ask these couples?
Yeah, but they're validated questionnaires, which
All
you
right, let's get into it.
find.
Let's get it. This is good. I like questions.
You want me to ask you?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
get into it. Let's do questions.
Wait, I have to pull. I actually don't know if I have the exact questionnaires, but okay, like for example, some of the questionnaires, one of the questionnaires, this is the one, Why Humans Have Sex. Okay, so let's see.
To escape feelings of sadness. Next question.
Okay, so these are reasons why there was a stress reduction category. Okay.
Okay.
So men and women answered like yes or no to the following questions. Okay. I had sex because I was frustrated and needed relief.
Yes.
Okay. I had sex because I wanted to relieve anxiety or stress.
Yes. Isn't that the same as the first one?
Yeah. Whatever. These are, so I'm going to just jump around.
That
Okay?
doesn't count. Whoever wrote this
Okay.
questionnaire only doesn't get credit for 2 questions.
All right. So I'm going to jump around to some other ones. I had sex because I was bored.
Yes.
I had sex because I'm addicted to sex.
At times, yes.
I had sex because I hadn't had sex for a while.
Yes.
Okay. I had sex because I was horny.
Yes.
I had sex because I wanted to achieve an orgasm.
Yes.
Okay. So you answered some of the questions in the stress reduction and pleasure categories. Let's see. Here's ones in the physical desirability. Okay. So I had sex because the person had an attractive face.
Yes.
I had sex because the person smelled nice.
I mean, like, that's it? Like,
That's
that was
just
the
one of the-
only, like, I walked by and they were like, I was like, I'm going to fuck that person. They're hideous and they're currently peeing on a dumpster, but I got to fuck them because they smell like the right kind of garbage.
Okay. Here's a question. I had sex because the person wore revealing clothes.
Yes. Absolutely yes. More often than that, than the person with a pretty face.
Okay. Here's some of the experience-seeking ones. I had sex because I wanted to see what all the fuss is about.
I mean, maybe my first time, I guess, but not really. That was more horny. That was like horny. Yeah.
I had sex because I wanted to improve my sexual skills.
No.
I had sex because I wanted to act out a fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here's actually, this one's more interesting. The resources category, okay?
Wait. These are the resources for.
This is this is looking at right why people have sex.
Okay,
so
this is
people
why
are
people have
answering.
sex. Okay.
Right? So in the resources section, I had sex because I wanted to get a raise.
No, I have not done that. Although I did have the opportunity of one time a comedy club owner, a female, we went out. Oh, she was not the owner. She was like the manager. We went out after the show with some people and we ended up at a thing. We're on the park bench and she asked me to like massage her feet and I was not feeling her like that. And, I never got booked at that club again.
Really?
I didn't rub her feet. And,
That's
I
like a Me Too thing.
It was definitely a Me Too.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
And the owner, it wasn't the owner, and I know the owner, and I could have told her like, hey, I always want to be like, why do you never have me back? Because like
Wow.
but how do I know she's not like, well, you didn't sell a lot of tickets and you weren't very funny. I don't know.
No,
but
but-
I do think it was weird that I was like
Yeah.
one of their favorite comics, and then I never got paid again. So I
Yeah.
should have, but no, I did not do that.
That's fucked.
Yeah, well,
That's crazy.
me too, man. Sort of.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
Sort
we
of Me
should
Too.
drive into that another time. Because
Let's
I
do
don't
it.
want to. Okay. I had sex because I wanted to punish myself.
No, I don't think I've ever had sex. I want to punish myself. No.
I had sex because I wanted to humiliate the other person.
No.
Ooh, I had sex.
I mean, I do remember having sex before, like with girlfriends, and there is like a sort of like once you argue with them and then you're having sex with them, there is that sort of like in your mind you're playing that game where you're like, this is like,
I get it.
I am like in control, and well,
there's something erotic about control.
Yeah, like
right.
I'm really because I'm angry, and you can see I'm in control. It's not like humiliate them, but in your mind you're sort of like there's like a certain fantasy you do with it.
Right. Okay. I had sex because I wanted to give someone else a sexually transmitted disease such
Jesus
as AIDS.
God, no. Does anyone answer yes to that? Someone like, it's like, all right, raise your hand if you ever wanted to give someone AIDS.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I wanted to feel. I had sex because I wanted to feel closer to God.
No.
I know, but there are people who
I
like
have
do
heard
that, but that is
numerous-
like
RuPaul on Howard Stern's podcast, and I heard somebody else say this, but I heard a woman say this, and I heard a man say this, say receiving anal sex is the closest you get to God. Interesting. So I don't know if there's any religious scholars out there that want to weigh in on that.
I think there was something about, like God reaching you through the taint. So I think
That was Deuteronomy
like
17, actually.
17,
yeah.
yes. Okay, so
So how did I score?
well,
on the
no,
pervert
here's
scale?
other ones.
Oh,
Okay. I mean, we can go utilitarian category. Okay. I had sex because I wanted to burn calories.
Maybe. I've definitely felt like I need to go to the gym, and then I have sex, and then I'm like, cool, I'm good.
I had sex because I wanted to change the topic of conversation.
I've definitely had sex to avoid conversation. Yeah.
I wanted to be more focused on my work, and
Yes.
sexual thoughts are distracting.
Yes. As a matter of fact, and I've definitely told this on this podcast, but I once jerked off in the middle of taking a college exam, a final in college. I had to write 3 essays, and I did 2 of them, and I was like horny and just I was like nervous, or I had all this anxiety. So I just went to the bathroom, jerked off, came back, A-. So I've told that story on here before, but it's true.
Yeah.
All right, give me 3 more questions because I want to move on before we run out of time here.
Okay, let's see here.
Actually, well, what is the so this is the study, they would ask everyone these, and then from these they would determine who was the happiest?
Yeah, so then they just looked at right. So we were talking about kind of goal attainment, emotional, physical subcategories, right? And they were just saying, okay, in people who have consensually non-monogamous relationships versus monogamous relationships, do those motivations for sex differ? Right? Like are the people who have sex in polyamory like doing it more because they think the other person's hot, or are they doing it more because they want the person to shut up and they work together?
Right. Or if you're in monogamy, you're like, I've had sex with my wife to humiliate her. I had sex with my wife because I was bored. I had sex with my wife because I didn't want to hear what she had to say.
AIDS.
I had sex with my wife because I wanted to give her AIDS.
Right.
All the reasons we have sex with those who we love.
So question, what do you think the outcome would have been? Like, do you have any thoughts?
Like I said, I think people who are in monogamous relationships are probably the happiest sexually.
Okay, so
But I'm wrong because those people are probably a lot of them are cheating and shit like that. So, but I'm gonna stick to that initial thought, even though I think I'm wrong.
okay, so they were saying that the results were that people in non-monogamous relationships compared to people in monogamous relationships were having sex more for pleasure and experience seeking, and also more for resources and
What is
and
that? What resources like getting jobs and shit?
potentially.
Wow, bunch of dirty
Potentially,
whores out
potentially.
there. Bunch of whores.
Oh, babe, that's not what it is. We were
Whores.
all right. We were
Whores.
all right. We went into we could go through that whole category if you
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to.
yeah. I know.
And they also had sex more often for revenge.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but then other categories.
What does
such
that
as,
mean to have sex for revenge? I don't even understand what that means.
Well, we didn't look at those questions because you got sick of looking at the questions.
It's like
but
you. What if you're like? What if when you find out what I ate last night, you're like so pissed you're gonna go fuck somebody for revenge?
I'm
'Cause
not
I
gonna
ate
do
the
that.
rice pudding. There it is.
Did you eat all of it?
Oh yeah.
Wait, you ate all of it?
I ate a lot of it. A lot of it.
Oh,
Yeah, I ate a lot of that rice pudding. Yeah, now you're gonna have to go fuck somebody for revenge, aren't you?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
God.
you are. Oh man. it
All
was
right,
good.
whatever.
Running
I
all
think
over
you
my
want me
face.
to.
It was running all over my face. Oh, it was like so erotic.
So, okay. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I hope you took a video because maybe I would be turned on. I don't
Oh
know.
God, I was fucking it. And the reasons I ate it were I wanted to humiliate myself. I wanted to eat rice pudding. I was horny for rice pudding. There was rice pudding, and I wanted to eat it.
That's,
Because I wanted to give myself AIDS.
we are whatever. These are just crass jokes, okay? Okay. So physical. Oh right. So anyway, things that they did not differ on. Well, let's see here. Like it looks like there was not a lot of difference in utilitarian reasons for sex, in emotional reasons for sex, in insecurity reasons for sex. We didn't talk a lot about those.
But this isn't helpful. I want to know who's like just like literally the happiest with their sex life. They didn't ask that.
Okay, so they were just they were saying that non-exclusive multi-partner relationships had higher scores on the physical and goal attainment factors for sex than non-monogamous.
Okay, well, there you go.
relationships.
They're physically having more fun, non-monogamous people.
Swingers were more satisfied than monogamous individuals, but not more satisfied. Were more satisfied than monogamous individuals, but those in open relationships were not more satisfied than monogamous relationships.
Yeah. Okay, so swingers are the best. Swingers,
Probably the overall takeaway. And that said, there's so much in this. There's so much depth, and there's also so much complexity, and also every relationship is different. But I think their overall conclusion was that, it's not the raw number of sex partners. It's kind of how you're having sex, and probably that the swingers were the most satisfied, and then
So we need to start swinging. Apparently, something which you said earlier in the podcast, I don't have it in me to do. But I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong.
We have not actually been talking about doing that. But anyway, and please excuse our jokes about certain.
I don't want you to excuse them at all. I want you to repeat them to your friends and tell them how funny they are.
But we really didn't mean any of those.
I meant everything
jokes.
I said. I meant 100% everything I said.
We support all modalities of relationships.
I support no modalities of relationships. I reject all relationships.
Mo supports only being alone.
I respect
And
only
he's
a man
not-
eating rice pudding alone in his boxers at night with a throbbing erection.
And
That's the only
and
relationship.
he realized this in the moment of eating the rice pudding and his throbbing erection, and he realized that made him feel closer to God
Yeah,
than
that's
sex
rice
did.
pudding is God. All right,
And
moving
then-
on. Okay, enough. So, guys, you
okay.
can always thank you for that, by the way, deep dive.
I thought it was
Deep
interesting.
doctor. I thought it was very interesting, and I can't wait to go out there and start fucking everyone and just having so much sex.
But really,
with everyone.
you mean having sex?
I can't wait
with
to
a
go
rice
out in the
pudding.
world and give everyone AIDS. I'm so excited.
All right.
I support that joke as well. Ashley doesn't. Do you want to give
Have
her
safe sex. We don't.
have safe sex, of course. Have
Okay,
safe
yeah.
sex. Oh, speaking of safe sex, you hear about that crazy thing that happened with those condoms in Thailand?
Yeah. But do you want to talk? Oh, whatever.
Yeah, that was
We can-
last week.
That was last week.
Did you guys hear about that shit? 340. Okay, there was a raid of some like warehouse in Thailand, and the police found 345 used condoms that they were cleaning and then reselling as condoms. This is a real story.
I know. I gotta say, like, of all the ways to make money that are shady,
Gotta be an easier way to make
that
money.
seems like. I mean, it sounds like their whole process there was really sophisticated and not straightforward. And it's like, what the fuck?
It was they
Like-
would boil them or something, and then they would have to reform them by wrapping them on a wooden phallus, and then they have to roll it off. I mean, look, if a condom's not like perfectly round and squished in there, you're gonna notice. You know what I mean? So they had to like really be
I
exact
don't know
about
if it's
that.
like dark and you're a little.
I don't know though. I just
But here's a question, and I didn't read enough to know this. How did they get on this? Get investigating this? Like, what happened that
Probably-
alerted them
It's
to
probably
the
a bunch of people were like, I put on a condom and it had like someone else's jizz in it.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is where did they
Fascinating.
get the condoms? 345,000?
I don't know. We have to read the article in more depth because it is fascinating and it just seems like a very poor way to make money. Like there's got to be better
Yeah.
ways.
So, by the way, if you're anyone out there trying to have safe sex with condoms, just make sure it's not one from Thailand that somebody splooged in. Okay. Before we run out of batteries on the camera and everything, we asked our listeners for questions and stuff they want to talk about this week. One of our listeners said that he has recently, I don't know if he wants to say his name or not, so let's call him Al. And he recently moved to Denmark. He's lonely as fuck, and he said he's having a little bit of hard time online. He's not getting many right swipes, so he sent us his Tinder profile.
But he's an American guy, is that right?
He's an American guy who moved to Denmark, and he wanted us to review his Tinder profile.
Well, first off, I'm just gonna say, like, we got to give this, to Al. Speaking to you, Al.
Yeah, to Al.
If you move to a foreign country, like, there's just going to be some difficulty because of, language
Yes
barriers
and no.
and
Certain countries you're going to get laid a lot more because you're American. You got to use that.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying that, like, even when we go and look at his profile now and give him pointers, it's possible that the people in the dating pool in Denmark are not, like, their cultural norms or things that they're looking for are not the things that we are
Yeah, that's
looking
true.
for.
That's true.
And the other problem is, like you always say with Hollywood stuff, humor is a lot harder to translate across cultures.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if somebody's innate way of setting up their profile on a dating site is like through humor, that may not translate, right? So there are certain barriers, no matter what, that you have. I'm not saying that you
Yeah.
couldn't get laid.
No, that's
parlay
true.
the American
Generally,
thing into getting
humor is
laid.
not good on
but-
Tinder and these sites anyway. It doesn't ever go over well.
Sorry.
Whoa, Ashley dropped her phone. I
Yeah.
want to say first, before we go into Al's stuff, and I'm going to ask him on the email if he minds us posting these pictures on our website, the Full Release Pod. So people
Yeah,
can check them out.
definitely ask.
Yeah,
him.
yeah. But if you might go to the Full Release Pod and we like the way we had Tyson's balls up there, you might be able to see Al's pictures. But first of all, congratulations, Al, because according to his profile, unless he's lying,
Don't give away too much of his personal information. He has a good job. He has a very
I
cool
can't talk
job.
about his job. It's like
I don't
literally the
know.
coolest job
I don't
ever.
know. It's a very cool job.
It's like
And
a
the
job I
toy-
wanted my whole life.
It's a toy. It's
It's
a toy.
related job.
A toy related job, like
And
a
it's
very cool
fucking
toy related
awesome.
job.
So
Yeah.
good. Okay, first up, good that he's got that on his website, on his Tinder, because hey,
Yeah.
that's fucking awesome.
So I
Who
would say, like, looking at, he's like,
let's
he's
look
like
at the
a,
opening photo. Here's the opening photo.
yeah, he's a
looks like
handsome
this.
guy. He's a handsome guy. The lighting is bad, right? Because the lighting is like, it's only on half.
It's
of
only
his
on half
face.
his face, which makes him look kind of dark and sinister.
Well, it's just like, okay, if I'm gonna have a picture that only lights up half my face, like that's very cool for like fashion editorial. If I'm trying to show somebody what I look like for a dating profile, like I want to just see their face
Also, Al, look at your eyes in this front picture. Like your eyes are like sort of
because of the lighting.
because of the lighting and
yeah.
kind of maybe because you're focusing on the camera. There's not like you need to find like a joy. You want that first picture to be like, oh, this person's gonna be fun to be around.
Well, I think the other issue is he's not smiling.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like,
yeah, you're-
Like just smile on your dating profile. Like you can have other.
I don't know about that because some people don't like their smile. I'm guessing he doesn't like his smile because he's not smiling in any of his photos, and I don't really like my smile. So I kind of get you have to find like an alternative face, but this one isn't. I don't think that's like your opening.
Right. Like if you
shot.
don't like your smile, then there are other things you can do. Like you can do like an eyebrow raise or a
Finger guns.
finger gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that's like interactive.
Yeah.
That's happy. You
I was
know?
joking about finger guns. Don't
But-
do finger guns.
Okay, well, whatever. I don't know. But
Yeah.
But yeah, you want something that's like inviting. And also maybe he does like his smile and he just didn't really think about the fact that he wasn't smiling.
Right, Al. You might have a great smile. That's another thing to ask yourself. All right. Also, I
And you
don't really
can send
like the
us-
background. It's confusing. There's like lines all over the place. 'Cause it's like the ceiling and then there. It's just like it doesn't feel settled to me. You know?
Yeah.
Feels like you're sleeping in your uncle's house and you're just taking a picture real quick.
It
and
does
like,
seem like he was sleeping on the floor
Yeah.
between the living room and the dining room.
Yeah. Like this picture looks like it comes with an air mattress.
Yeah, just find like a more even background.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next picture. I dig the concept. It's split down the middle. One where he has tons of hair over his face.
Right. It's like a before and after haircut.
And then he's the shorter hair. But I have a problem with it right off the top, and I'll tell you my problem with it.
Tell me.
I like the long hair.
Well, I like the long hair. I mean,
it seems like the long hair is a thing of the past, and this is what he looks like now. And I'm kind of like, damn, I miss that long hair.
well, the long hair is cute. He looks good with the long hair. But I would say that this like weird before and after, it's cutting off his head in both of them.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like if you're gonna do that,
We're having some framing issues.
yeah, if you're gonna do that, then you want to do like, maybe the head above and below,
Yeah.
and you can make like some cute thing being like,
Which Al do you want?
right, like something like to contextualize.
It reminds me of, remember when
This.
that Seinfeld where Elaine loved that guy's hair, and then he shaved his hair because he was going to be a swimmer, and then she's like, fuck, now I have to break up with him for 6 months till his hair grows back. You remember that?
I feel like vaguely, very vaguely.
It was funny. All right.
But anyway, so yeah, you look good with both haircuts. You should do whatever haircut you like. But just, I think people find it a little unsettling when there's kind of this
You're
series
cut
of
off a
photos that
little
don't
bit,
make any
yeah.
sense to them. So just make that more digestible. That
Yeah,
before
digest
and
it
after.
up. All right,
Yeah.
let's go to the next one.
Or just put the photo of you with the
See,
long
now
hair.
this third one where you're in the full body shot in the suit, I mean, it shows your body a little bit and you're in a suit, but like, again, it looks kind of morbid because you're not smiling and it is a dark suit. And again, you're in your uncle's basement. And so it just doesn't look like this guy doesn't look like he's going to be like your job is so cool and so fun
Yeah.
that you got to spin yourself as like the guy living his. I mean, you're living your dream. You know, you're a young guy. You're 26. You're living your dream. You're in a foreign country working in an amazing company. You know what I mean? I want to see a little more of that. I want to see that fun. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I like that you added this because it looks more of a full body shot and it looks like you're dressed nicely. So I think, having your dating partner seeing you kind of in a blazer and, more of your body
It's a
shot
good suit. Yeah.
is really good. But I agree. Maybe throw on that suit and, do it with a little more front lighting instead of back lighting.
Let's get some of that front lighting. Yeah. Like literally, if you just turn around, you have the light from that window behind you in your uncle's house.
Right, exactly.
All right. This one is my favorite right here.
Yeah, that one's super cool.
This one, and since he's kind of an artist, it sounds like I bet he did this himself, but it's his
like
face, but like half of him looks like an anime character kind of, or a cartoon character somehow. That's cool.
I like that.
Again, he's not smiling. So again, it sort of shows that this is not a guy who digs a smile too much, but that one to me is good.
Very cool. I like
see
this.
that. I like what I see.
I like this one.
I would make that your first one.
I don't know if I would make that my first one.
Really, I don't like this one at all. I'm going to say that. This next one, he's got his arm up like this. He's sort of making a face.
I'm okay with it.
No one looks good going up. The camera's down here. No one looks good like that.
I don't know. I like photos like that.
Really?
I'm okay with this. Yeah. I think it's kind of whimsical. It's cute.
Whimsical. I'll give
He's
that.
It's also less intense than most of the other face.
It's playful. I see that. It is playful.
Yeah.
I just would like to see more of a down. He's a good-looking guy. He's a handsome dude. I just think he's not showcasing it as strategically as he could.
The other thing I like about this is he had a few photos in a row where you could tell he was holding a camera in front of a mirror, right?
Yeah.
And this one, it may be a selfie, but it's not a selfie. I apologize for the beeping of my phone.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Okay, I'll turn it off.
It is a lot of beeping here. I'm trying to help this young man find love in Denmark, of all places.
I know. But anyway, so I liked that this one was the first in a series. Even if it was a selfie, it wasn't as evident that it was a selfie.
Right.
So I like that about it.
And we get down to this one, which is...
No, this one is in the same area.
Yeah.
He is the other one. He clearly has like a window and a well-lit room and then another room with a
But he always
mirror.
faces away from the light, it looks
because that's where his mirror is.
Oh, so that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Got a large sweater, which makes me think Denmark. It might go over well. I imagine it's a sweater culture.
This is what I think, right? Like what you should do, Al, is either get a cell phone tripod or pop your phone up against or something and put your phone in front of the window so that the light from the window is coming in on you, and then put your phone on the timer and step back and do a bunch of poses.
I like that.
So yeah, you don't have the mirror, but take like just a whole lot of photos and then go through them. And then you're going to have that lighting on you. It's also because the phone, you'll have stepped back from the phone. The phone will be on the timer. Then it's not so much of this pose of you holding the phone in front of the mirror.
Also, I have to say something about the outfit here. It's a sweater and shorts.
Is it
I didn't realize they were shorts, but if you look beyond that, he is wearing shorts. I'm uncomfortable with a sweater and shorts. I feel like you got to make your mind up on what is the temperature.
All right. I mean,
I'm
look,
not
I'm not a
with it.
men's fashion expert, so I'll give you that one. You can
I
decide
just think,
that.
look, you got to pick a lane here. All right, can't be casual down low, chilly ski lodge up top.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Now, I can't recall with Tinder.
They like
there's like a written area, or is it just these photos?
Yeah, they have a written area, but you have to log in.
Okay, fine. Because I was gonna say the other thing you could do is just show
This last one's pretty good.
Like that.
Here we go.
He's
got the Denmark flag. He's got the finger gun. So he is doing finger guns.
And
he pulled it off. I was skeptical, but he pulled it off.
That one you just need with some more lighting.
And he's got cool fucking hair.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he can't have it like. I know you love that hair.
I like it.
But, when he's going to meet somebody in person, he's going to have the shorter hair. So he needs to
Well, maybe not. Maybe I was wrong because this looks like his 26th birthday party because some balloons in the background. So I'm digging this one.
Yeah.
I see that. I'm like, this is a guy combined with his cool job that I'm so jealous of.
Maybe just do some photo manipulation to lighten it. Yeah. Right? Because you can do that too.
Or move the birthday cake with the candles closer to you.
I can't do that.
All right. Okay, so we get to this one. This one, again, I like it. Because it's fun. I mean, there's still like a lack of a smile below on this. There's basically a picture of him next to a comic book characters, like two side by side, and one of them's like a monster or something. But I like that because it shows the kind of guy he is. He's into comic books and shit, but in a cool way.
Yeah.
So I'm down with that. And then, what do you think of that one?
I'm not.
You don't
into
like
this
that one?
No.
So it's basically his face and then little like fake tears going down. Again, I think it's cool. It's fun.
I just don't think it's necessary.
Okay. Well,
I just don't think like I want what the other thing I was gonna say is that you want each photo in the profile to add something
right
about
don't really
you,
just
right?
add
So it's like,
something?
well, I think he's already displayed in some of the other photos his ability to have whimsical photo manipulation,
some
right? So he has the one
whimsicalness,
where
yeah.
it's like half kind of an anime looking character,
Yeah.
and that's super cool. I don't think this is necessary.
You know, I just realized
I'd like
what
to
he
see
needs to
maybe
do
a
to get
photo
laid.
of him outside.
Yeah.
But not a photo of him holding a fish because
Yeah.
that's like one of those things that guys like in dating profiles. It's like classic. It's like a guy outside holding a fish.
I
Like
never had that
it's
picture.
not. It's just so
But
unnecessary.
Al, here's the problem. You're trying to get laid as an American, and everyone hates America right now. Like,
Right.
Trump has made America so abhorrent to the rest of the world. I hope so, because he certainly
Like,
is
maybe
apparently-
until-
he certainly is abhorrent to me. So I hope the rest of the world feels he's abhorrent as well. But you got to start telling chicks you're from Canada. That's how you get laid in Europe.
Right, there you go.
You're from Canada.
Like maybe some photos of you wearing like a Justin Trudeau like hat.
Yeah, wear Justin Trudeau. Not
Hat.
not like but he's like a big blackface guy, Justin Trudeau, right? So maybe not Trudeau. Isn't he like a big
He's
fan
not
of blackface?
a blackface guy. He did it once. I
A
mean,
lot of times.
I'm not going to weigh in on that. I mean, that's like obviously
I think
not
more
okay.
just like go safe, just like a ride a moose into the bar,
Just
so
like
that-
a Canada shirt.
or wear a
Like a
or
little
literally
maple
ride
leaf.
a moose around.
Take a photo of you on a moose for your
Yeah,
Tinder profile.
there you go. I think
Okay,
that's what
cool.
it is. All right, we're out of time.
All right.
Anything else you want to say to anybody?
Oh, there was one other question. We should get to it just to address our listeners' needs. So there was a question about whether or not Tom Selleck and
There's a rumor going
and
around.
Dr. Phil were promoting an erectile dysfunction med, and if they had the expertise to weigh in on that. And I would say the following.
So wait,
I
why did
did-
they ask this? Because there is a rumor on the internet that Dr. Phil and what's his name?
The specific question was, I heard Dr. Phil and Tom Selleck were promoting an erectile dysfunction
Yeah,
medication or drug or
I would
pill.
take that if I needed it. Those are two strong, big guys.
I mean, Tom Selleck, yeah, I don't know. Dr. Phil doesn't
He looks
come
like
off.
he's swinging some serious dick. To have that kind of confidence for Dr. Phil must have a giant dick because he's a dorky looking fucking dumb bald head, and he's fucking
All right, we're
moron,
not.
and he's got all that confidence. He's got a big fucking hog. No way.
I mean,
Dr.
he did
Phil
impress
doesn't have a big-
Oprah, right? And if
Yeah.
you can impress Oprah, then you
Yeah, and Oprah does her hiring based on the size of your
no,
penis.
okay, probably not. But I do think what's her like man friends?
Stedman?
He's
Stedman looks like
probably
he's got a big
humongous-
schlong.
Yeah,
Dr.
probably.
Oz is another one of Oprah's guys. He's got a big dick. You know, he's got a big Greek cock.
Is he one of Oprah's guys?
Yeah, Dr. Oz.
I didn't know
I
that.
think so. I have
I
no
don't know.
idea. I don't even know if he's Greek.
Maybe none of those things.
None of it's true.
Okay.
None of it's true.
Well, anyway, so I looked into this, and it appears that Tom Selleck and Dr. Phil are not promoting
Damn
an
it.
erectile dysfunction pill, but that was somehow like an internet rumor. And
Yeah.
there were some shady websites that if you typed that like Tom Selleck erectile dysfunction in, you would get these shady websites that were selling some supplement that had no endorsement from Tom Selleck whatsoever. So the first part of that question was, if Tom Selleck, let's say, had the expertise to promote that. So that's the first thing I say is Tom Selleck is not promoting that. So it's kind of a moot point. But secondly, you can certainly have somebody who is not an expert in something being
the person who promotes it? Yeah,
promotes
that's like
it, right?
everything.
I mean, that's like the classic example of this with erectile dysfunction, right? Is do you remember the first ads for Viagra or the first like
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole, right?
Yeah. Well, he
so like
knew all
he
about-
obviously was not like a urologist or an erectile
But he was
dysfunction
very
physician,
old,
but you know
trying to swing some old dick.
the supposition was that he was using it and he had seen the effect of it on his body.
You know what's the perfect example? Remember we were watching this? We were watching something last night and we found this out that John Wayne got out of being in World War II because he had flat feet and then played a guy in World War II in movies.
Well, that's not like
It's
that
kind
at
of the
all.
same thing though, because it's like he's advertising that he's like all about this and he doesn't know anything, you know.
No, but what I was saying was that somebody could
Now-
be an expert in it, but has personal experience. But you're saying this guy didn't have any personal
Right.
experience.
Oh, I see
but
what you're saying.
portrayed an
Yeah,
expert
but
in
still,
it.
it's kind of fucked up.
But
now,
that's
John
just-
Wayne, if he had a Viagra, I would definitely do that because that dude's dick probably didn't work that well anymore because he's dead.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this. If you take some of the trimmings from Tom Selleck's mustache, mix that up in a cup of chocolate milk, you are rock hard for days.
They do right instead
is
of
true.
instead of like tiger roots or whatever they various virility.
No, you just a little bit of Tom
Selleck's
Selleck's mustache
mustache.
trimmings in chocolate milk, cow milk, not organic shit, oat milk.
Oh,
no,
really?
it has to be cow milk. Tom Selleck's mustache trimming. Mix it up, drink it.
All right,
rock hard for days.
on the next episode we're gonna watch.
You'll come a mile. You'll
We're
come
gonna
a
watch
mile.
Mo drink that.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I feel like Tom Selleck's mustache is like the epicenter of virility.
Yeah, and
Like,
Vin
it just
Diesel.
looks
Vin
like-
Diesel, when his bald head gets a little dandruff, if you scrape some of that Vin Diesel dandruff onto your omelet,
Yeah.
you eat that, you grow a third testicle.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how manly it is.
incredible.
A little bit of Vin Diesel's
This is
dandruff
not- this
into your
is-
omelet. Boom,
This is
third
not
testicle.
not true. But
If you let The
okay.
Rock fart into your mouth, your orgasms will hit the ceiling. Yeah, if you let The Rock squat down and fart into your mouth, you will please your sex partner for forever.
Oh,
What are your thoughts on that, doctor?
I do not endorse that with my medical license.
So you're not familiar with the study, or you just don't support that?
I have no knowledge to support this
Okay.
statement.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe on YouTube, right?
Oh yes, find us on YouTube. Yeah.
The full release.
Yeah.
You go to the full release pod. I'm going to ask Al if we can put up these pictures.
Well, so you would go to thefullreleasepod.com. Right?
.com.
And then you can click on the videos, and that will take you to our YouTube channel.
Or you could just search the full release on YouTube and we'll come up.
yeah, there you go.
We got some couple nice reviews this week.
Cha-ching.
Always love those iTunes reviews, guys.
So yeah, hit us up if you have
Yeah.
questions about urology stuff, if you have questions about relationship stuff, if you
Yeah.
want to tell us about your consensual non-monogamous relationship, that would be super cool.
Or if you want to
Um,
swing, we're into swinging now. We're a swinging couple. We
you
swing.
probably don't want to do
We
that.
have swinging times that
if
we
you,
swing together.
If you have shavings of Tom Selleck's mustache that you want to send us,
Please send.
send it to us.
Please send.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Ashley and I would like to thank all of you for listening to our humble podcast. Please subscribe and give us a good rating. Tell all your friends, and don't forget, we are answering all your questions at 213-631-3460 or at thefullreleasepod@gmail.com. .com.